Hi, fellow sports lovers, and welcome to another episode of Time Out, the show anybody can watch about sports, stats, facts, and everything in between. I'm your host, Charlie, so let's go to get this ball rolling. Time Out. Let's talk about some sports. For the three, basketball edition. How did I miss that? The Brooklyn Nets shot down the Atlanta Hawks last night with 120 to 115 in final overtime. The Bucks bum rushed the Bulls and forced a Game 7 win with 94 to 88. And finally, the Trailblazers told the Grizzlies, "You can't sweep us in our house," beating the Grizzlies 99 to 92 in a battle all the way to the end. Time out. Let's talk about this. The Hawks have not lost one game this regular season. And then they went to the playoffs and they met the Brooklyn Nets and they lost their last two games. With the Brooklyn Nets tying up the series and having superstars like Deron Williams making three-point clutch shots all night long, the Nets welcome the Hawks into the playoffs. The Bucks bum rushed the Bulls last night. The Bucks, ready to fight, came in and the Bulls did not. The Bulls looked tired and weak. And superstars on the Bulls, such as Michael Carter-Williams, took advantage of this and danced all over head Bulls like D. Rose, as well as Gasol. With a young Bucks team and a young coach, Jason Kidd, they came in last night, they came in it to win it. And finally, the Trailblazers finally woke up against the Grizzlies. With an injured head bear, Mike Conley, Damian Lillard and Lopez took very much advantage of the situation and forced a Game 7 against the Grizzlies. The Atlanta Hawks need to realize where they're at. And everybody, including myself, has jumped on the bandwagon of the underdog NBA team. Which makes sense because they did win every single game in the regular season. And I personally thought that they were going to sweep the Nets. Boy, was I wrong. With the grit and grind of the Nets and the never give up attitude, superstars like Deron Williams proving to the Hawks it's time to ball. Personally, I think if the Hawks want to pursue anything in this playoffs, they need to work on their communication, their rhythm, and guys, you got to make easy shots. The Bucks came into Bulls Stadium with their horns sharpened and ready to attack. The Bulls looked tired and weak. And superstars like Michael Carter-Williams from the Bucks took advantage of this, dodging and weaving greats like D. Rose and giants like Gasol and Noah. I mean, I'm just saying, guys, the Bulls Stadium was so bad that the fans were dead quiet the entire game. If the Bulls want to pursue anything with the Bucks, they need to start doing their homework on this young team. Because I promise you, Jason Kidd and his young Bucks have done homework on the Bulls to force them into a Game 7. And finally, with the injury of Michael Conley, and him having such an incredible, fantastic year, the Trailblazers finally awoke. And giants like Lopez and Damian Lillard made shots all night long. With the Grizzlies losing last night, they have to get back to the drawing board and realize, how are we going to defeat this non-sleeping Blazers team? What you watching? The Houston Rockets tried to sweep the Dallas Mavericks out of the playoffs the other day, but Dirk and his young team are not leaving without a fight. Can Houston send them packing tonight? or will Houston have a problem? Tune in on TNT at 8 p.m. to find out. And the Clippers do not want a redo of what happened last year in the playoffs. Can the high-flying Daredevils soar over the Spurs and get a win? Or will the Spurs shoot them out of the clouds? Find out at 10:30 on TNT tonight. Back in the day. Well, fellow sports lovers, here's a little history lesson for you. Today, April 28th, in 1994, the Orlando Magic beat the Boston Celtics 124-77 in the worst loss ever recorded in playoff franchise history. Ouch. Well, that's my show. Thanks for tuning in. If you want to go ahead and like it, go ahead and click the like button. If you want to subscribe, go ahead and click the subscribe button. If you want to leave a comment, you can below this video here. Or you can reach me on Facebook at Timeout Charles Cowan or Twitter at TimeoutNow87. Until next time, time out. Let's talk about some sports.